Good afternoon and welcome. Today marks my first hearing as chairman of this committee, and I look forward to working with each of my colleagues, including my ranking member, to address the challenges that are facing American Indians, Alaska Natives across this country. I grew up neighbors to Indian country, and I am humbled by the responsibility to serve it in this position. I know that every member of this committee shares my commitment to ensure that tribes and Indian communities have every opportunity to succeed and grow, and that we are protecting and honoring our responsibilities to Indian country. I also want to begin my tenure here as chair with a little action and extend an invitation to my colleagues on this committee, whether you're here today or watching, to come up to me with any bills that we might be able to take up in this committee, so that we can move them out of this committee quickly, get them to the Senate floor, and move them on to the President's desk. I'm looking forward to taking action on the important legislation that is so meaningful for our constituents, and utilizing this committee to continue to move Indian country forward. And speaking of moving Indian country forward, today's hearing is on early childhood development and education in Indian country, and is the first of what I hope will be a series of hearings to examine the educational needs in Indian country. This is a very important issue to the tribes in my home state of Montana and across this country. Just last week, I toured several reservations in Montana, and education was a prominent concern that was brought up in all of these communities. As a former educator, I know firsthand the impacts of quality education and what those impacts can have on our youth throughout their lives. And I believe that improving these opportunities can be a starting point for addressing many of the issues that are so prevalent throughout much of Indian country. Today we're going to focus specifically on early childhood education. Among the many benefits of early intervention and supporting early childhood development is the potential for increasing family and community involvement in the lives of our children. When we invest in early childhood, we are investing not only in the child, but the family and the community around him or her. And to me, that is a good policy. Another important benefit that I want to highlight, and that I know we will discuss in further depth today, is the ability of our programs to support Native languages and help preserve and protect these important connections to Native culture and identity. It is something that I strongly support. There are many programs under the federal umbrella that provide early childhood development and education for Native children. We need to look at whether these programs are operating efficiently and effectively, and to see what steps we need to be taken by us in Congress, if any, to improve the quality of early childhood education that Native children are receiving. Our witnesses represent a wide array of Indian programs that provide early childhood education on tribal lands, including a Department of Health and Human Services Child Care Development Block Grant recipient, and the Family and Child Education Program supported by the Bureau of Indian Education, at the Department of Interior. Another witness is an administrator from a tribal division of education. Dr. Costello from Duke University has joined us to discuss the impacts that early investment in a child's life can have on the long-term outcome for that child. But before that, we will be hearing from the Department of Health and Human Services. I am excited to learn that the department's witness is a fellow Montanan. I look forward to hearing from all our witnesses today about early childhood development and education programs operating in Indian country. And I welcome suggestions for what Congress can do to improve these programs. In particular, I hope we can discuss how these programs are working together. Several programs and services are often similar or duplicative, and we must make these programs more efficient and at the same time ensure that Native youth are provided with the best opportunities to lead fulfilling and productive academic lives. I want to thank the witnesses for traveling a long way to Washington, D.C. to present your perspective on this important issue.